We're live now, but I'm the only one on the screen.
I'm on here still. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can only see me.
I don't know why.
Go ahead, we're live.
Oh, it says we're live, Noah. You're live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode. Welcome to this chaotic episode of the Blairing Truth. Oh, now Jacob's taking over. Go ahead and mouth the words, Jacob. This week we're going to be discussing the Colts game on Sunday versus the Las Vegas Raiders. And we are going to be talking about potentially this week's matchup in college football between IU and Oregon, and maybe get into some early preseason Pacers discussions. With that being said, Jacob, why don't you go ahead and take it away?
Welcome back to another episode, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am Jacob Blair, Hunter Smith. We are joined by Noah, Darius Hayward Bay, even though he's not on the screen right now. And Dad will be popping in when he can. And his screen name was forget. Jim Sorgi. So I just wanted to start out talking about last Colts game. They whopped the Raiders. Absolute doors blown off game. I know you probably thought the same thing, though. That first drive and the Raiders went all the way down the field on us. I was like, here we go. Colts defense is not going to show up. And then we held them to that field goal. And then after that field goal, it was just all Colts.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling very good after that first drive. Kind of what we've already been talking about all year. Our run defense was horrendous on that first drive. And honestly, it wasn't great all day. It got better. But yeah, thank God we held them to a field goal, because if they would have scored a touchdown, I probably would have been tempted to turn the TV off. But like you said, everything after that was pretty much best thing possible that could have happened on every single drive. So
The Colts signed a new linebacker this week that should help with our run defense. Jermaine Pratt,
yep.
who was with Lou in Cincinnati, and is a pretty good linebacker. And I'm not sure what happened at the end of the Raiders there. He didn't get on the plane with the team to go, and I think he basically said he was done playing for them.
Yeah, that's what it kind of
Is
looked like.
is what happened, which I don't like that, but we need help at linebacker, so I'll take him.
I will say it did look like Zaire Franklin remembered that he's a good football player last week. He's pretty much been a non-factor in the first 4 weeks of the season. So last week it was good to see him get in there, stop the run a little bit better than he has been. He also got a sack and a couple other QB pressures. So that was good to see. But I had that in my notes last week, is this was kind of a prove it game for Zaire Franklin to me. I wanted to see him actually be an all pro like he's been before. I don't even know if he's been an all pro, but obviously he's led the team in tackles since he's been on the team, and that really hasn't been there this year. I don't know if it's just a scheme switch with a different defensive coach, just kind of taking him out of the big plays or what, but I did notice that he did step up a little bit. So,
And I don't know if you know this, but Laiatu Latu is tied for interception lead for our team now with 2, which is insane.
yep. And they've pretty much been the same exact play both times. Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. He was just right there in the right place at the right
Well,
time. So
it's been those times where he's dropped back in coverage, and I think that's confusing offenses when he does that. Because he doesn't do it very often. Just every once in a while, Lou will throw that in where he drops back, and it cuts off that window for throwing right there. I know it was tipped, but still.
yeah,
Um, I don't know what it is either, but it seems like our team comes out and we are awful against the run to start the game, and then we settle in and they don't really run the ball on us the rest of the game. I don't know what it is. If it's just like the first schemed up plays for the drive or what it is, but we are horrendous on the opening drive against the run, and then it seems like we settle in.
yeah. I mean, I would say, just talking about the game in general, The only really negative we have to take away from it is the fact that our kicker got hurt. And I honestly believe that that Raiders player should be suspended for 2 or 3 games because that was just absolutely horrendous. I mean, he wasn't even close to blocking it and just blew Spencer Strader's knee sky high. So I am glad that we did get somebody like Michael Badgley in. He's come in before for us and been solid when we needed a kicker. So hopefully he's able to at least be somewhat consistent because Spencer Strader has been so far to start the season. But
He's
that
just
really
another
sucked to
guy.
see.
He's just another guy that's not great with long range kicks.
Yeah.
So he's money from like 30 to 40 some yards, but once he gets in the 50 range, he's not very good at those.
Yeah. I saw, I think we brought in like 4 guys and they all tried out and he won the job. So, yeah, that kind of sucked. And then going back and talking about bringing Pratt in, I would say that's a really good sign because, and it might just be because Ballard knows that this is his year to prove that he's competent because he's been terrible the last couple of years. And I don't I don't think since he's been the GM of the Colts we've ever brought in somebody like him in the middle of the season. Like it's almost like the Raiders cut him, and literally every Colts fan pointed out the obvious, like bring him in right now, call him right now. He's played in the Lou Anarumo defense. He's a good player, and the next day we signed him. So I think that's a good sign of the belief that the front office and the coaching has in the team to actually be able to compete, and it isn't something we've seen in the past.
I know you've probably seen too, Twitter's been going crazy because we did some contract shuffling. We renegotiated Kenny Moore's contract and got like $4.8 million more cap room. And a lot
Yeah,
of people think that means that we're going to make a deal before the deadline for another defensive player potentially.
I could see that happening, but I could also just see it as let's have it open just in case somebody reaches out. But
I'm gonna throw another dark horse candidate for a trade target towards you and see what you think about it. But the Saints are looking at trading Kamara. Can you imagine a backfield with Jonathan Taylor and Kamara?
I personally would not want to see that
I would.
because
He's the best.
because they,
He's like the best pass catching running back in the
in
league.
my opinion, they would be a good duo. The problem is with Jonathan Taylor, he really hits those home run runs in the third quarter when he's already had 12, 13 carries. He takes a while to rev up. And if you're going to take a lot of those early game carries away from him, because
I'm not saying that. I'm saying put Kamara in on third down.
you think Kamara wants to come to a team to just play
I
10
think
snaps a
he'd rather
game,
do anything right now than play for the Saints.
I don't know. I would have to assume he probably has 1 year left on his deal,
Yes.
so it'd be a rental. And I would have to assume that he's wanting to get paid. And if he can go to a spot like Arizona, where he would immediately start every snap rather than go
He
to the
just,
Colts,
he does not want to go to Arizona.
I just feel like a guy like him who's been in the league this long and hasn't won yet, I don't know if winning would be his top priority.
I think it would be. Maybe he's not like that, but
I don't
he's
know.
not going to get another big contract. He's getting old.
I'm not saying he's going to get another big contract, but he's going to get one more. And I would assume he wants it to be on the bigger end of
He
what he's going
he'll,
to
he'll
get.
probably get. I'm guessing he'll sign like a 2 year deal somewhere after this season, and it'll be for decent. But running backs are not getting paid, so he'll sign a mediocre running back contract for 2 years somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I
I
said,
just I was thinking about that because I have seen they're trying to trade him, and it would just add to our offense even more because he's elite at catching the ball out of the backfield.
in my opinion right now, I would not mess with offense at all. And I would even go further to say that I don't want to see number 10 play a single offensive snap for the rest of the season. Start Ashton Doolin every game.
No, we're bringing back Pierce. Pierce is back this week.
Well, yeah, but don't start Ashton Doolin every game. Let him get those wide receiver 4 snaps instead of AD Mitchell.
See,
He was
I
absolutely incredible
I
last week.
get that. I get that, but Mitchell has the upside to create a huge play.
I don't think he's got any upside.
He that play he made where he dropped the ball before the end zone was one of the best plays I've seen in Colts have in like the last 4 years.
That's
He
true.
made an incredible catch. He made three incredible moves to get to the end zone. He
The
made a
problem,
bonehead play dropping the ball, yes, but it was one of the craziest plays I've seen, and it was all him.
and then in a situation where he's still on the field and he has a chance to make up for doing one of the stupidest things anybody's ever done in their whole entire career. He gets a holding on the other side of the field to bring back a 50-yard touchdown.
That happens all the time, dude. All
That was
players.
a
That happens
that
to
was
every team.
that was
There's a
a
holding
bad
stuff
hold.
happens.
That was a horrible hold. There was that guy would have had
Anyway,
no
I'm
chance.
not. I'm not ready to give up on him. I'm not ready to give up on him.
I just think with us in what I'd say is win now mode, with what Ashton Doolin has gave us last week and what he has given us in the past, and short spurts, I would say roll him out.
Uh, anyway, I wanted to talk about. So we had our starting corner retired on us going into this week, and I thought Makai Blackman played really well, except for that one time he fell down.
He needs to figure that out. He's
That
done
was
that twice
bad.
now.
That was bad. It did not result in a touchdown, but other than that, he did pretty well. I thought. Um, I really wish we would have traded for the corner from Cleveland instead of Jacksonville. That sucked to see them do that because their defense is already really good,
You know,
and now they just got another like elite corner.
I just think the only way we could have swung that is literally trading like Nick Cross.
Did you see what they traded?
They traded a starting corner,
Yeah, they traded a worse starting corner. And trade freaking Makai Blackman for him.
and they got a bigger. No, they're not taking Makai Blackman. That guy's better than Makai Blackman.
Yeah, they traded picks in him for a better corner in Cleveland.
They swapped 6th and 7th round picks.
Yeah,
So they're basically saying that Newsom. That's who we're talking about, right?
yeah, Greg
They're basically
Newsom.
saying Greg Newsom is a 1 round talent away from the guy that they got back.
That's how all NFL picks are, Noah. Picks you don't trade first round picks in those kind of trades. The
I
only time
know,
you do that is for like a quarterback or a star defensive end. You get first round picks for,
but
or
that's what
maybe a
I'm
wide
saying.
receiver.
You would think if they're that far away, it would be like a 4th or a 5th or a 7th swap.
That's just how picks are in the NFL. They're weird. Anyway, I was pleasantly surprised. I thought there might have been a huge hole, and he played better than Xavier Howard did. That's for sure.
Well, and Mike Hilton is on IR already as well
I
after
know
he had a few decent
we
plays.
signed somebody else. We signed somebody else at that corner too.
I just don't understand why we
I
haven't
want
called Stephon Gilmore.
that's another person that
If
people have talked about since we.
we've called every other old dude, and they've not been that great.
That's the other person that was brought up since we created that cap room. People talking about maybe signing him. And the funny thing is, he was doing commentary in the Colts game last week. I don't know if you saw that. He was tweeting about the Colts during the game.
Yeah, I think he knows.
So I don't know. I think the Colts see that they are in a good position going forward here, and they're going to make some moves hopefully before the trade deadline happens to improve this roster. I wouldn't be mad if we didn't add like a defensive tackle. I don't care if he's an elite guy or anything, but we need somebody else that's depth for Grover and Buck because if one of those guys goes out, we are toast.
Yeah,
So we need a depth piece at defensive tackle bad. But anyway, that was an absolute mollywhopping of the Raiders. And now we play Arizona. I just saw before we started doing this that Kyler practiced today. It was the first time he practiced all week, so he's going to try to play. He has that turf toe injury. So it's going to be huge for us to keep him in the pocket this week because he's going to struggle to run already. So if we can keep him in the pocket, that'll be really nice.
I would rather
because
play him than Jacoby Brissett.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Jacoby Brissett starting for the Arizona Cardinals this Sunday against his former team coming in on a short week of not knowing he was going to start just screams the Colts lay an egg. It just screams it. It's the same thing that happened last year when we went
I agree.
into New York.
I hate playing against backups too. This Colts team feels different than that team that lost last week of the year last year. It does.
I
Feels
agree.
different.
But I just don't like I said, I don't know. I would rather
I'm
play
telling you.
a hobbled Kyler Murray than play
Did
Jacoby Brissett.
did Gus Bradley get hired anywhere else?
I'm assuming he's probably some assistant somewhere.
Just the difference between having Gus Bradley last year and having Lou this year has been drastic.
Well, what makes no sense to me, and I was thinking about this earlier, what makes no sense to me is it seems like every time we have a hole at a spot on defense, I guess because I don't like I said, maybe it's because Ballard is on the hot seat or whatever, but um Lou Anarumo has to be calling Ballard and saying, "Get me this guy right now." And
I'll
we've
tell you why. It's
we've had
because the daughters are telling those suckers that they better fix things or they're gone.
I
They have a
agree.
short leash. They have a short leash. The
But
daughters are on their
but
butt.
but do you think Gus Bradley was just like, I'm gonna get fired anyway?
I think Gus Bradley is like Jason Garrett, and he just stands there and he does what he's expected to do, and he doesn't want to ruffle any feathers. I think Lou's going in there and he's like, I need another freaking linebacker. Bocce sucks. I need another guy. And he's not
Even
taking
though
no
at the
for an
beginning of
answer
the year, even though at the beginning of the year he was probably in there cussing out Ballard saying to sign Bocce.
because the Jalen Carlisle apparently was a disaster, and he
Yeah.
needed anybody else besides Carlisle.
Last
There's
week
a
last
reason
week
There's a
what
reason why Carlisle is still a free agent, even though it's like his second or third year. There's a reason why he's still a free agent. Let's be honest.
last week I tried to like because I didn't see the penalty and I was like, bruh, Bocce didn't do nothing. And then they show it in slow motion and he literally sticks his leg out and kicks that dude to
It was
trip
like
him.
that. It was like that game against the Broncos when we were all yelling about Xavier Howard. He didn't do anything, and they show the replay, and it was like the worst PI you ever seen in your life.
Well, I didn't
It
think
was
he
like
didn't do
that.
anything. My complaint was they were doing very similar things on defense and not getting called.
I know, but it's one of those things where you're like, you want to be mad at the ref, and then it shows the replay, and it's like Xavier Howard like choke slamming him. It was the same thing on that Bocce penalty. Bocce held him really bad.
I was very relieved when Xavier Howard retired. Happy retirement to him.
I think he did that. He probably went home that night after that game and was like, "Bro, I can't do
It's
anything better than what I'm doing now, and I'm getting toasted."
it's Job
So
over, is
he
what
was
he
like, "It's
heard.
time for me to hang these cleats up. I got paid a little bit more money. Now it's time to move for me to go home."
He said, I am long in the tooth.
But that worries me about Steph too. Like, if Steph is still good, why is he not signed somewhere?
My guess is people want to sign him for a very little amount of money, and he doesn't see it worth that. And he
Maybe
probably also thinks, like, why rush back to a team when I can wait to see which teams are actually good in the middle of the season and then come in? Because you got to think he's old. If we do sign him, he's probably the freshest he's ever been in his career and ready to roll.
is
So
Braden
that's,
Smith is Braden Smith the free agent after this year?
yeah, I think so. We're probably going to have to boot him out of town.
So we have a huge issue if you think about this. I know we're not talking about next year yet, but we're gonna have to re-sign Daniel Jones. Did we re-sign Ryman yet? I don't think we
Yeah,
have.
I think we
No, I
gave
don't,
him some kind of extension.
did we?
I
Is
thought
he?
so.
I think we might have, but if not, he's gonna be a free agent. Braden Smith's gonna be a free agent. Um, Alec Pierce is gonna be a free agent. So we have a lot of big names coming up to free agent market here.
Yeah, I we're gonna have to have Danny Penner play right tackle. Is what
No,
I'm gonna say.
no, dude. Dude, I saw something earlier and it showed like the top tackles in the league by like pressure rate and like allowing the least pressure rate. And it had Ryman and Smith were like top five tackles, and they were right next to each other on that graphic. You know those ones
We
that have like the line graphs and it
yeah,
has like players. They were like right here, and the only people that were better than them were like the freaking Eagles tackles and like one other dude, and that was it. And then it was Braden Smith and Ryman
we signed Ryman to a 4-year, $100 million contract extension in July.
this offseason. Okay, what about Braden Smith?
I can look.
He's the same. He's the same draft class as Nelson.
My guess is if he's going to be a free agent this year, he's probably gone.
Well, he thought about retiring, and then he came back, and then he's been really good again.
Yeah, all I can think it is like obviously I really liked Will Fries, but thank the Lord the Vikings took Ryan Kelly off of our hands. Jeez Louise. He's already had a sprained left knee and
I know.
three separate concussions.
So nobody's really talked about Bortolini, but Bortolini's been pretty good.
Oh, we restructured Braden Smith in March. Let me see. Keeping him with the team after he was entering his final year of the original year. Okay, so it looks like okay, yeah, it looks like he was a free agent this year and we added a year on. So he is a free agent this year.
He's a free agent after this year.
Yep.
That's huge then. That's a big thing. Daniel Jones being a free agent's a huge thing. And then we have Alec Pierce too. Because I heard somebody the other day that was like, I think that
Braden
we should.
Smith is only 29 years old.
Yes, he was in
Why
the
do I
same.
think
He
why
was
do
in the
I think of
same.
him why do I think of him of being like 42? I don't know
He
why I
was in the
think he's so
same draft
old.
class as Quentin Nelson was in 18.
Yeah.
We drafted we drafted them and Darius Leonard in the same draft. All three of them. What a freaking hit
Wasn't
rate that was.
wasn't Pittman in that draft too?
No, that was 20. Him and Jonathan Taylor were in the same draft in 20.
Okay, yeah. That was Paris Campbell then. No, it wasn't Paris
Yeah.
Campbell.
No, it wasn't. It was we drafted Nelson and then second round was a miss. No, second round we drafted Braden Smith. And then it was like miss, miss, and then we drafted Darius Leonard in like the fifth round or sixth round or
Who do we
something.
take in the third? We definitely took a wide receiver.
I'll look it up.
We take a wide receiver every year that ends up sneaking. I think of Paris Campbell and um, God, what was that other guy's name? I
Oh
did
my
see.
gosh. Uh the dude from Miami.
What? I'm thinking of Philip Dorsett.
That's what I'm talking about from Miami. From Miami,
Yeah,
the U.
Dante
I was
Moncrief
way
did
off.
have.
I was way off. We took Nelson first. We took Darius Leonard in the second round, 36 pick, and that was a hit. And then we took Braden Smith in the second round as well, and that was a hit. Then Kamoko Toure was a fourth rounder. Naheem Hines we took in the fifth round. He was good for us for a couple years there. Then we took Jordan Wilkins, who I thought was going to be good. He was not good. And then Zach Pascal, who was good for us for a few years. And Matthew Adams was our seventh round pick, and he was on the team for a few years too. So that was a really good draft for the Colts.
I think that we had 2 second round picks because we traded back to get Nelson. We traded our third. We had the third pick that year, and we traded to the Jets.
Yep.
That's why we had 2 second round picks. So
I'm
that
I'm
was
pretty sure
honestly
our
genius.
2019 draft was horrendous. I'm gonna look that up too.
I did see. Speaking of former Colts wide receiver draft picks, I did see Dante Moncrief got hired to be some kind of coordinator for Ole Miss.
Yeah, our I saw that too. He's a recruiting assistant. So listen to this 2019 draft, Noah. We didn't have a first round pick because we
Yep.
traded it. We traded it for DeForest Buckner.
Yep.
So second round we took Rocky Sin.
Not bad. Not
Bad,
bad.
bad. Then in the second round, also we had 3 second round picks. We took Ben Banagoo,
He was a good special teamer.
whack. We took Paris Campbell, who was whack.
Yep.
Third round, we took Bobby Okereke, who was good.
Okay.
Fourth
Okay.
round, we took Kari Willis, who was good, and then he retired at like 27 years old.
Yep.
Fifth round, we took Marvell Tell, who could not stay healthy to save his life. EJ Speed, who had a couple of decent years.
And now he's a special teamer for the Texans.
Gary Green, Jackson Burton, and Javon Patterson.
All I know is when we started talking to Lou Anarumo about coming in to be our DC, he must have said, when I come in, EJ Speed is not even going to play special teams. He stinks. I hate him. And that's why EJ Speed left, because he was almost a guaranteed starting linebacker this year for the Colts. And now he is a gunner for the Texans. And I've watched like 3
He's
Texans games.
benched. He only plays special teams.
Yeah, I haven't seen him on one defensive snap.
No.
And a lot of Texans fans was twerking on Twitter when they signed him, talking about how they stole him and how he's gonna be like, he stinks, I guess.
He was really bad last year. That's all I know. Really bad. But I think part of Lou getting the job was he came in and he said he wanted say over defensive personnel. He wanted final say and he wanted power in picking who he wanted to play on his team. When does Jalen Jones come back?
Not this week, I don't think.
I'll look it up here.
Kind of curious what Zaire Franklin's contract is. I kind of
We just re-signed him last year, I think.
yeah, he's on the first year of a 3-year deal.
It said today that the only people that didn't practice was Kenny Moore and somebody else. I think Jalen Jones might have practiced this week. That would be helpful to have him back too.
Yep. All
But
I know is
anyways,
when you're watching Colts, when you're watching any NFL team, and there's a corner on the team, and you don't hear him talked about at all, you know that he's lighting it up. I haven't heard the announcers say Charvarius Ward one time other than we signed him, because they're not throwing at him at all.
he's made a couple tackles, but they are not throwing at him
They
at
are
all.
not throwing his way at all.
They're
He
not
must be
throwing at
just
him.
locking
They're
him
not.
down.
They're not throwing at him because Xavier Howard was so bad that they were only throwing at him. They were legitimately only throwing at him because they weren't throwing at Kenny Morgan before he got hurt either. So
Yeah.
they took away 2/3 of the field, and then that 1/3 of the field was just Puka Nakua getting 14 catches for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns or whatever he had against us on the Rams.
Well, and I was telling Uncle Tim last week with Blackman starting, and like he did have a pick and a pass breakup, but I told Uncle Tim, if the Raiders line can give Geno Smith 2 seconds, he might throw for 450 yards on us. I said the number one important thing against the Raiders was going to be getting in the backfield and making Geno Smith make mistakes, and we did it.
The
I
most
thought.
important the most important thing was making sure Max Crosby did not win the game by himself. And like the first play of the game when he got back there and bear hugged Jonathan Taylor for 3 yard loss, I was like, oh my lord.
I'm just talking about
I
from a
was like,
defensive standpoint. I'm just
I
talking about
know.
from defense.
I know, but Max Crosby is so freaking good at football. He scared me that whole game. He was back there so often, like almost did something.
What's who on the team would you not trade for Max Crosby?
Quentin Nelson, Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor.
You're saying if they called right now about Danny Jones, you're not saying yes?
No, I'm not trading Daniel Jones for him. Dude, I'm not playing Anthony Richardson again. He came in and almost threw a pick. He threw a freaking pass and caught it.
That was pretty elite.
Yeah, it was so elite that that should never happen.
What if the trade was Daniel Jones for Max Crosby and Kenny Pickett?
No. Dude, Daniel Jones is the franchise quarterback now, dude.
I'm not ready to say that yet.
I am. I'm ready to say it.
I need to
He's
see it a little
franchise.
bit more.
He's the franchise. The team's rallied around him. They love him.
The only
He's my.
reason why I hesitate to say franchise is because we have not extended him, and I feel like there's a reason for that.
He's the
Either he's at,
franchise.
either he's saying I want $300 billion,
He's
or
gonna want. He's gonna want money.
he is, and we
And
should want
that's
to pay it to him.
yeah.
But why? Why haven't we?
We will.
If I
We
was
have
Chris
time.
Ballard, I would have wrote him a check after the Dolphins game.
We have time. Anyway, we can franchise tag his butt if he won't sign. Just franchise tag that sucker.
You like tagging butts.
I would tag his butt for sure. Anyway, there's only like 10 players maybe on the Colts I would not trade. Maybe not even 10. Maybe like 6 players in the Colts I would not trade for Crosby. I'll tell you this. I might trade 2 first-round picks for him.
We do have a comment. I can't really describe what it is, but it's Papal. He sent that.
Oh, interesting.
Figured I would show that.
Let's talk Pacers. Did anybody see the terrible news we got yesterday?
TJ McConnell is hurt.
He's out for like 1 to 2 months, they said.
Yep. Which I would assume that's probably going to turn into at least 3 months.
And did you see who we freaking signed?
Cameron Payne.
Cameron Payne. I hate Cameron Payne. I hate him.
I just don't understand why we have to have Quentin Jackson on a two-way contract. I would rather see Quentin Jackson play.
I would rather play Quentin Jackson and our other guard we have on a 2-way contract than watch Cameron Payne play a Pacers jersey.
You would rather
I'd rather see Ray J. Dennis out there running the point.
I will say, and me and Jacob and Dad can speak to this. Quentin Jackson started a game that we saw in person and played extremely well.
He did. Every time he gets minutes, he plays good.
He
Every
does.
time. It's like that. It's like that year that we had. What was the guy's name? Samson. He kind of looked like Dad.
Jakar Sampson.
Jakar Sampson, and the Pacers like would not play him. And every time he got a minute, it was like an elite minute of basketball he played. He would get 10 minutes a game. He would get like a double in 10 minutes, and we were so confused why he would not get minutes. It's the same thing with Quentin Jackson. It really is.
I don't know. I hope I saw somebody ask that yesterday, and Alex was like, if we keep Quentin Jackson on a two-way deal, then it doesn't necessarily take up a real roster spot, and we already have him signed to it, so we may as well leave him on there. But he was like, Alex said, I would expect to see Quentin Jackson more than Cam Payne, which, I would agree with that. But the problem with that is if we get halfway through the season and TJ
They only get
McConnell,
certain games.
they get 50 games.
You can
And
upgrade him though. You can sign him to a contract. Like if they get close to running out of their 2-way deal, you can sign him to like a deal for the rest of the season.
yeah, I guess that's true, but I don't know. I just feel like if you're going to do that, you may as well do it. Like I don't see what benefit signing Cameron Payne to the team gives us. I would rather and he'd probably be fine with it. I don't know if there's an age restriction or how long he's been in the league, but elevate Quentin Jackson to the roster and sign James Johnson to a two-way G League contract. He's not going to play anyway.
I don't think we're gonna sign him again.
I have a feeling we are going to.
I don't think we are, dude. I think that was his last hurrah.
Then they're gonna hire him as a coach because he's been at every practice that I've seen. And
he might be a coach.
He's still hanging out with Tyrese. Who knows?
Did we
even fill that position from that guy that left?
No.
There you go. James
We
Johnson
we
is now
have
him.
we have an open roster spot, but I don't want campaigns ugly balls taking up a spot on my bench either. Get him out.
He is again. I don't know. Like obviously, we're not going to be able to play exactly the same as we did last year without Tyrese Halliburton. But the kind of player he is completely against everything we believe in as a
I
team.
know.
And yesterday they were asking him, they're like, "How do you see yourself fitting in with the Pacers? Like you over your career, you've been like a get the ball in your hands, take some time, let things develop, put up a shot." And he's like, I can adapt to any type of play style. That's the way I've been my whole career." And I was like, "No, because the Knicks last year when they were trying to keep up with Indiana, and start trying to play fast because that was against their identity too. You were only in the game to come in and huck three threes and then right back to the bench because you were a defensive liability.
As soon as he came in, the Pacers ran their entire offense at going at him.
Yep. And like no, I can't. I respect him. I mean, he had some games where he couldn't miss, but I don't want him on the team. I would agree with
Why
that. I'd
couldn't
rather
why couldn't why couldn't the Pacers sign Chris Paul? He went to go play for the Clippers again.
because he said during the summer, Pat McAfee did a show at the soccer tournament that he does every year, TST, and Chris Paul was there promoting a brand pretty much. And he didn't outright say it, but he pretty much said, I'm going to retire if the Lakers or the Clippers don't sign me." Because he was talking about how he's been on so many teams the past 8 years. His kids and his family all still live in LA. He's been just like missing out on moments as a father and all this stuff. And he's like, I can still add benefit to a team at this point in my career, but I don't know if I necessarily want to live anywhere else but LA right now because I got to put my family first. He's like, now if there's a way that I could also, he didn't say like, oh, I only play for the Lakers and Clippers, but he said if there's a way I could play in LA, that would be the best thing. And then like 2 weeks later, they signed him. So he pretty much said he's
He,
going to retire.
he would have been perfect to come in and play like 15 minutes a game for the Pacers.
I just don't. I don't know. I see the point now, but if TJ McConnell is healthy there, I don't see a point in even having another guard.
Andrew Nimhard's going to start point guard.
I know. Isn't it funny? If I don't know if you see this, but the casual fans all think McConnell is just his team now. Like I don't know if they think he's younger than he is.
Dude, it's because of how well he played in the freaking playoffs. McConnell was like our second or third best player in the playoffs. Honestly.
He had some spurts.
Noah. Noah. He took over a couple games.
I agree,
He
but
won us. He won 2 games for us by him. Yeah, I know. Dad agrees. McConnell won 2 playoff games by himself at the end of the game. He literally went on like a 10-point streak where he scored all like 10 points in a row.
the problem is when there's a switch and he gets on a slightly tall shooting guard or a small forward, and he's got to walk over and punch them in the head
That's
because
how
he can't
Tyrese is
guard them.
too. That's how Tyrese. If Tyrese gets switched on
Not
to somebody,
last year.
if Tyrese gets switched on to somebody, we panic every time. We send somebody else over there to switch immediate.
That's the problem. We don't switch. TJ McConnell just walks up and smacks them in the back of the head and says, "I
That's
fouled."
fine. He has fouls to give.
I
He
don't know.
uses his fouls. Anyway,
It's hard. It's hard. It's
I will not accept any TJ McConnell slander from
I'm
you.
not
After I watched how that man played last year and how well he played in the playoffs,
I'm
zero
not
slander.
slandering him. I'm not
Yeah, no,
slandering him.
no slander. Dad's not accepting slander either.
I just think we need to. I think when we talk about the Pacers, obviously us three are not very happy with the way the season ended last year. Very very close to seeing something that probably isn't going to happen ever again in our lifetime, and it slipped away. But in moments like that, we have to remember that there were times where we were excited to see Jakar Sampson possibly get some minutes.
Dude, I take Jakar. What's Jakar Sampson doing right now? Bring him
He
in.
he's either working at a Qdoba or
Dude,
uh,
he was
playing
so
for
good.
the
He was so good that year, dude. I'm telling
playing
you, he
for the
was so
Jingling.
good.
I can tell you what Jakar Sampson is doing.
He's probably
Let
playing
me
overseas.
let me one up you. There were
He's probably playing.
times
He's
when
probably
we
playing
were
overseas.
excited. There were times when we were excited to see Raheem Christmas get some burn.
Yeah, baby.
And we went to Game 7
Raheem.
NBA Finals last year.
I will
So
say this: that was a horrible way to lose in an injury. I've never seen last night. I'm glad I'm not a Phillies fan. Did anybody see what happened last night in that Phillies Dodgers game to end the game?
I saw it was an almighty error that sold the game.
No, 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 no. So bases were loaded, correct? Or no? There was runners on second and third, I think. It was in like the bottom of the 12th inning, and they hit a dribbler up the pitching mound. And instead of throwing the ball to first base, the catcher airmailed home plate by like 5 feet. He had all day to field the ball and throw it to first base, and it would have extended the game to the next inning. Watching that, I was like, "Oh my god!" I could not imagine being a Phillies fan and watching that game, and that's how like my season ended. Was that that'd be so bad?
That's why you just not gonna. There's stuff that you just can't care about.
Like
Like the Yankees
if the
lost to the
Colts
Blue
were
Jays
if
the
the
other
Colts
day.
were in the playoffs, if the Colts were in the playoffs and we had like one last chance to win a game, and Daniel Jones like threw the ball out of bounds instead of throwing it, that's the equivalent of that. That's
That's
how bad
why.
that would be.
That's why, like I said, you have to pick and choose what you actually care about. When the Yankees lost the other night to the Blue Jays to be eliminated, I watched the game
You
and
didn't care. You didn't
I
care.
said, this is what I did. Well, now if the Colts lost the
I
Super
was
Bowl in the
mad when the
same
Red Sox
fashion,
lost. I was mad.
if the Colts, Jacob, I was
I
with you when the
was.
Red Sox lost.
I was mad.
You had a little bit of a scowl on your face. If the Colts lost the Super Bowl, and idiotic,
I agree. I
if
agree.
errors
I
befall
agree.
the Colts that bad, you
I
probably not see me for the next 6 months. And then when you did see me, somehow I would have a burly beard this long. My hair would be uncut and unwashed, and I would be 586 pounds.
I'm just
That's how
thinking of
bad.
I know. I'm just thinking of guards that we could get other than having Campaign as our third point guard. Like I would rather bring Rajon Rondo out of retirement, even though he's been retired for like 2 years, and bring him in to play our third guard minutes.
What we sold with was having Alfred Payton on our G League team last year and letting him walk. He would be a good guy to have on a two-way contract right now because
I
he played
also
extremely well last year for
I know this is out of nowhere and doesn't mean anything, but looking at Taylor Peter, I don't like the way he looks at all. Makes me mad. I don't really want him on my bench either.
I don't like his name. I and
He
there's
has a
ways.
bad he has a bad name and a bad face.
The
I don't
problem
like
is he hasn't done anything yet. That's why. Like when we had Ben Shepherd in the summer league when we first drafted him, I was like, get this jobber off my team. And now I would take a bullet for Ben Shepherd.
No, I like Ben Chipper coming in because I knew he was a shooter. But
Halen Peter is a shooter.
Taylor Peter, I do not like him. I don't. He needs to earn my allegiance. But do you ever figure out where Jakar Sampson's at right now?
Yeah, I did look it up. I can tell you right now. He is currently the small forward for the Beijing Royal Fighters.
Yes, bring him in. The Pacers need him.
He's
Give
33 years
me
old.
give me Jakar.
He's currently averaging 4.6 points per game.
No, I to be honest with you, I'm going into this season. We already have McConnell out for 2 months. I'm assuming we're gonna have a Pascal Siakam out for 2 months injury at some point too. I just do not want the Pacers to blow it up if we start out a bit rough.
We're not going to.
I really do not want that to happen.
I think the front office and they say like, oh, we're not punting on the year, like we're not giving up. Like they know that we're not going to be the same team, and the number one priority for this team this year has to be developing Matherin and
Jarris.
yep, has to be that. and Johnny Furphy.
We
My
need.
dark horse take.
I already don't believe in Johnny Furphy. Like I don't think he's any kind of good. I don't. I don't think he's good at all. But we need Jarris to be good this year, or we need to trade him. This is the last year he has. He either has
Johnny
to be good this
Furphy.
year, or he has to be gone.
Johnny Furphy
Huff.
will be starting by
We
December.
need to see Huff do good. Huff.
Who? Oh,
Huff.
Huff. Yeah, that too.
Johnny Furphy will be starting by December.
No, dude.
How can you not think he's good? What he's
I
putting on
don't.
tape?
He looks like a giant goofball,
It
and I
doesn't
don't like the way
matter.
he plays. He plays like Josh Giddey does, and I hate watching Josh Giddey play basketball too.
I don't think
They
he plays
all.
like Josh Giddey.
That's what they play like. They're out there doing that kind of stuff. I hate it.
I think he's going to be a special player. And I
He
think
has
the
a.
way I think the way that the front office and coaches talk about him, I think that he is a instrumental piece in the future of this team.
Anyway, we'll disagree on that. But these last few minutes here we have, I want to talk about this IU Oregon game we have coming up before we get off here.
Hey, I hope Turner sucks.
I also, I was always a Turner guy. I love Miles Turner. He might have made me the biggest flip on a player ever. The way he's acted this all season, I can't stand him now. I legitimately cannot stand him.
My thing
I
is with the whole I want more money, whatever, like the city didn't believe in me to pay me whatever, like bro, what did you expect? I was on team don't bring him back. If we would have won the finals, give him whatever money he wants, whatever. Like let's all be happy and enjoy this time. We
he
didn't
laid
win.
he laid an absolute turd nugget in the playoffs. He played horrible.
Yep.
He played so bad, he basically lost all of his minutes to Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin was playing center for us in playoffs a lot. He
We
was.
had we had because of his ignorance and bad defense, we had Tony Bradley playing meaningful minutes in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Tony Bradley, Obi Toppin, and Thomas Bryant were playing Miles Turner minutes because he was on
Thomas
his bench.
Bryant Thomas Bryant played better than Miles Turner.
He did. We had the Thomas Bryant game where he made like 5 threes. Turner didn't
We
have one of those in the whole playoffs. He didn't do
we
jack.
why did we need Thomas Bryant? I would rather have Thomas Bryant than Tony Bradley. What are we doing? We already have we already have James Wiseman. Why do we need Tony Bradley?
How do you guys feel about us starting Isaiah Jackson this year? I kind of hate it. I'm
I
gonna
feel
be
like
honest.
he won't be starting by game 3 and OBJ Huff.
I think Jay Huff is gonna be way better than him.
I think they're all not going to be very good. The only thing
The only hope we have is that somehow James Wiseman is like dominant after his
that's what I
Achilles
was going to
injury,
say.
and he plays like a number 2 pick in that draft.
The only problem I have with James Wiseman, and Dad is going to say this is ignorant, right? So last year we had James Wiseman, and he was wearing number 13. He gets hurt. We technically cut him or trade him, I guess. We did trade him, and we bring in Tony Bradley, and he wears 13. Now, when James Wiseman comes back, Tony Bradley's still on the team, so he can't have 13 back, and he's wearing number 11, and he has lost all his aura. That is the only problem I have with James Wiseman this year.
The bonus was
And
number
he
11.
needs to find it doesn't matter. 11's not bad, but it just doesn't look good on him. And also, he needs to find the nearest barber. His hair looks absolutely terrible.
He can't
His
have short. He cannot have short hair. He's a guy that cannot have a buzz
Did
cut.
you
He
see the
has
one?
to.
Did you see
Yeah,
the one guy? What's that guy's name that plays for the Kings? Did you see a picture of his hair? I gotta find that and put it up on the screen because Dad needs to see that if he did. What's that guy's name? I
I
can't think of his
guarantee.
name.
I guarantee Dad did not see it.
What is his name, bro?
Just look up King's hair. I
I
can't
can't
remember his
think about
name.
it.
I can't. I can't remember his name.
Oh my gosh. I need to put this on the screen right now. I knew you had seen it. I'll find it. Just give me a
I
sec.
have seen it.
You can start previewing the Oregon IU game, and I will find this to pull up.
Yeah, so probably the most excited I've been for a college football game this week since the Notre Dame Alabama National Championship when Manti Te'o was still on Notre Dame. I have fully switched my allegiance from Notre Dame all the way over to Indiana football and Indiana basketball. I love Kurt Signetti. Love that guy. He has
I will
enough.
continue to like both of them.
I like Signetti a lot.
Dad, are you looking at the screen? This is pretty much what Dad would look like if he decided to go his hair out. This is so bad.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
That is how a grown NBA playing man was playing basketball the other night. What are you holding on to, brother?
Anyway, Indiana's underdogs. Everybody thought they were going to lose to Illinois. They blew Illinois' doors off. We need to show up in this game. It'd be awesome to win. I think our quarterback this year is better than Rourke was last year by a lot. Mendoza is a beast.
Rourke was good. He was just a game manager. And it seems like Mendoza can make plays.
Mendoza is a beast.
What I will say is, as a fan, I'm rooting for IU this week, but if I had to put my life on the line, I would go with the Ducks, unfortunately.
Brother, come on. You can't be saying that stuff when I'm on here.
The
We're
only
rooting for
thing,
Indiana to win.
the biggest thing that gives me hope that Indiana can win is, first of all, yes, the problem is Illinois has fallen off a cliff since they lost to Indiana.
No, they haven't. They've won all their games since then.
No,
Yeah,
they
they have.
they either
They
lost
beat
or almost
USC.
lost.
They beat USC the week after. And
I don't
USC
know
was
about
ranked.
that.
They did.
I might be confusing with somebody else. Let me see real quick.
Illinois went the week after we beat them and beat USC.
When you look up college football schedules, it literally shows it in the worst way possible. Okay, so Indiana beat them. They beat USC by 2 points.
USC is ranked. No, they're good.
They gave up 20. No, they're not.
USC was ranked before Illinois beat them.
They gave up 27 points to Purdue.
Purdue. This is a different Purdue team this year. Purdue has played everybody tough.
What I will say is the biggest thing that gives me hope is Penn State lost to Oregon. Very close game, overtime. And then they got blown out by a terrible UCLA.
They got killed. They got killed by UCLA.
So that does
UCLA stinks.
That does make Oregon's dominance look a little bit less.
And they haven't played anybody else.
If Indiana was playing at home, I would give them a better shot. That travel to Oregon, the time zone change, everything like that, playing in that stadium against those uniforms. You got Dan Lanning doing lines of cocaine on the sideline. I fear for the Hoosiers, but I will be rooting for them.
I have faith in Mendoza. He played at Cal last year, so he's used to playing. He's used to playing on the coast. And Sig is going to have the boys ready. Sig is going to have the boys ready to run through a brick wall before that game goes out, and they're going to come out and they're not going to beat themselves.
What's the spread?
7 points. Oregon's favored by a touchdown.
I feel like if it's 7.5.
It's actually 7.5.
Okay, 7.5 makes me feel better.
7.5. Oregon's favored by.
I would take, because it's 7.5. I would take Oregon. I would take Indiana to cover the spread. I don't necessarily know.
I think Indiana's going to win this game. I really do.
But you don't have any reason to think that.
Yes, I do. I've been watching this team.
I've watched
I
every
thought
game.
I thought we were going to lose to Illinois. You told me that too. I thought we were going to. We killed them. And then I was like, maybe Illinois sucks. And then I watched them play USC. And USC is a good team this year. And they beat
They're not
USC right
ranked.
after that. Huh?
They're not ranked.
They were ranked when Illinois beat them. They were ranked that week.
I guess we'll see. Like I said, I hope they win.
I think Indiana's going to win that game. I really do.
I love it so much because Purdue fans love to talk so much crap. But it's so awesome having Notre Dame in one back pocket and having IU in the other now. Because it doesn't matter. One of them's going to make it to the dance.
I enjoy both of them, but I think I like Indiana more than I do Notre Dame by a little bit.
I just think CJ Carr sucks. And
CJ Carr is good. The Notre Dame's problem this year has been the defense. Notre Dame's defense is always good. They're not good this year.
the play calling has been absolutely horrendous for the Notre Dame Fighting
CJ
Irish.
Carr is good. There's no reason Notre Dame should be undefeated right now. If they would have handed the ball to Jeremiah Love in the first game, we would have won against Miami. We should have beat Texas A&M if we would have just pounded the freaking rock. I don't know what the deal is. We have like the best running back in the country. We're not giving the ball to him.
They need to realize that CJ Carr is not Riley Leonard, and they haven't even realized that yet.
CJ Carr is good. He can throw the ball better than Riley Leonard does. But they try to make him play like Riley Leonard, and it drives me nuts.
That's what I'm saying.
They try to do the freaking quarterback draws.
They're trying to do.
Riley Leonard was a lead at that. He would run his face to a wall to get a first down. That's not CJ Carr's game. CJ Carr is get the ball out, throw it. And they haven't let him do that. It drives me nuts.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll take Indiana to cover the spread. Hopefully win the game.
One more thing. I want some good luck to the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. I will be traveling tonight, and I'll be there for the game tomorrow against Northern Illinois. The Jacks are undefeated. They have looked really good this year. Northern Illinois is 3-3.
Tough squad. Is this the
last
Northern
year they
Illinois
played-
that beat Notre Dame last year?
No, that was Northern Illinois.
Didn't you just say that?
Northern Iowa. We're playing Northern Iowa.
Oh. So that's an easy dub. Give me
an
Northern
easy
Iowa
dub.
to cover the spread.
It's an easy dub, but Hobo Days at South Dakota State's always fun. Noah's been to a couple of them. He can just snurp his nose up all he wants to, but he's had fun going to those games.
I've only been to one, and it was a terrible day.
No, that was a terrible day for
Jacob
other
forgot.
reasons.
Jacob forgot.
No, why was that a terrible day, Noah? Was it because I forgot the sausages? No.
Yeah.
No, that was 1%.
That added way worse to it.
No. It was bad before that. But we'll get off that topic. Anyway, Dad, do you have any final thoughts before we end the show today?
Yeah. Go Pacers. I guess I got my fill of McConnell last year when we got to go see him because just my luck, we're not going to see my favorite player play because, of course, he gets hurt. So that stinks. Samson, I say go get him. Find him.
Dude, you
You're
know,
ignorant.
Dad knows. Dad and I were watching those games. Samson was so good, and they would never play him for some reason.
He's a 6'9" center.
I think that it don't matter. He's a baller. That's all that matters. He's a baller.
He's averaging 3 points a game for the Beijing Jaidogs.
Because he's not motivated. I think Huff is going to be good. I'm hoping bring his career back. And I'm hoping for a close victory this week. Again, I'm pretty sure I'm winning the preseason pick stuff going on here.
I'm undefeated as well.
I'm defeated.
So
I had them starting 4-1.
hey, hold on a minute, pal. And also, I was shocked and pleasantly surprised to hear Jacob say that Daniel Jones is a franchise quarterback when that dude did not want Daniel Jones for anything. Noah disliked Daniel Jones even worse. But Jacob had no faith whatsoever, and Dad was the only person that had any faith at all
He's
in Daniel Jones.
proved it to me. He's the franchise now.
He is the franchise.
Because, Dad, you tend to like guys that are white, nerdy, and looked past. And a lot of the times, the truth is they're not good. Daniel
See,
Jones.
Dad's favorite athlete is like Lance Stevenson, Noah. So shut up.
Yes. If they need somebody, Pacers get rid of that Cam
Bring
dude
in
right
Lance.
now. Right now.
Bring in
get
Lance as
Lance
our
right
third
now.
point guard. Give me Lance over
Yes.
freaking Campaign, please.
All day.
Oh my
He's
lord.
making like $30 million playing in the Big Three. I think he's happy.
It's the off season right now.
Yeah, it's all
Bring in
season.
Lance. Bring in Lance for Pacers.
I would, you know what? I would even be in favor of bringing in Oladipo just to cut him as soon as we get somebody back to see him get cut. I don't like that dude either, but he would play
He's
better
been
than
very
Cam.
good.
Whoever it is.
He's
He'll be
been
better than
good for
that.
the. He's been very good for the Jinjiang Lions or whatever.
Yeah. Him and Samson probably playing together.
No, but he is playing with Frank Kaminsky.
Is Brogdon still on the Wizards?
No, he is on the Celtics.
No, he's not.
No, I know who he's on. Let me think.
We don't.
Oh, he's on the Knicks. He's on the Knicks. Thank you. I knew it.
We don't want any Brogdon. No.
Listen, I would take Brogdon for the first little bit that McConnell's out because that's as far as he'd make it. He'd only play 20 games and he'd be out for the year after that. But it'd be a good 20 games, then McConnell will be back.
He's on the Knicks. That's why they didn't bring back Campaign.
I like the Chris Paul idea, but he would never play for the Pacers.
Probably not. But he'd be perfect for that. 15 minutes a game, Chris Paul minutes.
Do you guys think Huff is going to be any good or not? And it's not because he's white, because you guys are forgetting. I have 2%. So don't be getting on this. I only like the white gut dudes. That's not true at all.
We just talked about Jakara Sampson for 15 minutes. Noah can't say anything, and you love Lance Stevenson more than anybody else. So
I don't mean that.
Was the most thing ever.
I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I'm just saying, like TJ McConnell, the Daniel Jones,
the best center we ever had. You know why Jeff Foster was better than Turner ever thought to be? Is because he tried hard. Miles Turner had 100 million more times talent than Jeff Foster did. But Jeff Foster, the same as McConnell, goes out there and plays with every ounce of energy he has in his body. And that's what I like. And Lance Stevenson played extra hard when he was in.
Dad, would you rather have
guys that like I want guys that want to win as bad as like if I'm sitting at home and it hurts me to see a bad play made or a loss feeling.
I think we lost
basically
him.
what Dad is saying right now is if he's sitting on the couch watching a team and it hurts him as bad as it hurts him, he wants the players to be affected just as much.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Dad,
what?
Would you rather have Miles Turner right now or Jakara Sampson?
Jakara Sampson every day. Dude, he said some crap. He said some crap. He's like, the city never liked me, all this. I remember
I
going
know.
to Pacer games. They had a whole section for Miles Turner
I
up there,
know.
the Turner's Corner
I
or
know.
whatever.
Turner's
He was
block.
probably one. Yes, people always question whether he was really good enough or not, and he was always in trade rumors. That's true, but the fans always supported him when he played.
I just wanted to see him
He got
rebound.
more support. He got way more support than he deserved. So
I'm just gonna say this is that I'm telling you, he's petty and weird. He waited for us to get good and then decided to leave.
well,
What's the point in that?
he
That's what
had
I
a
didn't
press
understand.
conference and he was like, "Yeah, I feel proud and I'm on a team that really wants me and all that." Baloney, dude. I hope that team. I hope they don't make the playoffs this year. And what's his name's going to leave probably.
It literally come
So
out the next day. It literally came out the next day that Giannis was trying to go to the Knicks, and the Knicks even sent offers, and the Bucks sent offers back, and didn't end up happening. And then yesterday, in a press conference, they asked him about his happiness, and he literally said, "Well, right now I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm a little happy, but 6 or 7 months down the line, if I'm not happy, then that's human."
I
And
don't see him staying.
he essentially just said, if we're not the number 1 or 2 seed in the Eastern Conference at dominating teams, I will be asking out.
Well, I, I know they can pay him more money than elsewhere because of how the contracts are structured. I just don't see him staying.
I'll tell you
He's
right
not
now.
happy
I'll tell you right now. If when John Horst, the Bucks GM, flew to Greece to meet with him, and they talked about how the Bucks can compete for a championship, I guarantee the number 1 and number 2 thing, not necessarily in order that John Horst said, was Tyrese Halliburton has an Achilles injury and Jason Tatum has an Achilles injury, and we brought in Miles Turner. Like, he's like, this is the year if we're gonna do it. So he agreed to stay. But if they're
there.
not number 1, 2, huh?
Holiday, when he left, killed him. Am I
When
talking about the right
Drew
guy?
left? Yeah, when Drew left.
Yeah, he was like the heart and soul of their team. Even though he wasn't like, he wasn't the most important player on the court as far as stats go. He must have brought a lot of leadership and stuff to that team because they really missed him when he left.
They got rid of him for Dame, and then Dame came there and sucked.
Dame just has a horrible attitude most of the time. That's why. He's a really good player, but he does not play hard.
And now he's back in Portland. Anyways, boys, I got to get out of here. We went longer than what I thought we were going to. So I hope we have a great weekend. I hope Indiana wins. I hope the Colts win. And I hope the Pacers stay healthy during this preseason before games start.
Yep.
And with that said, I'm going to throw my deuces up.
See you guys. See everybody next week, and hopefully I can be in the show more. But you guys did a great job. Peace out.
See ya.